In this 8-mark question, you are asked to explain why levels of life expectancy vary both in and between countries. So the key thing here to understand is the question is asking you to do two things. Look at life expectancy, but doing so inside a country and between at least two different types of countries. So the way I'd answer this question is dividing it in two paragraphs. First paragraph, I'd look at describing the link between healthcare spending and life expectancy between two countries. So in this case here, for instance, you've got the UK and Kenya. That's your point. Your evidence, you need to back that claim. So you provide some data. So a good example of data for the UK is that life expectancy for men is 79, women is about 82 in 2019, whilst in Kenya it was 59 for men, 65 for women. Okay. And obviously, in the point you made, you talked about healthcare spending as well. So the spending for as a percentage of GDP in the UK is 11.9%, whilst in Kenya it's 4.6%. Okay, so that's your evidence. What you then have to do in the analysis part is you have to explain the link between your evidence and your point. So basically explain why healthcare spending is positively correlated with life expectancy. So as healthcare spending increases, life expectancy rises as well. And that's kind of proved by the fact the UK spends more than Kenya and also has a higher life expectancy than Kenya. So you have to explain that relationship in an analysis part. Then in your criticism, you can also tell me that, however, variations in life expectancy can occur within countries. Whilst the UK has a high life expectancy, it doesn't mean everyone in the UK has a high life expectancy. Case in point being, women live longer than men. Okay. Paragraph 2, you then go into a little bit more detail. So you'd say, well, actually, you describe the link between deprivation and life expectancy within a country. So in this case, I'd focus on the UK and I'd look at the north-south divide. He provides some data for it, and that data I took was from the Geographical magazine a few years, I think it was February 2020, about the North-South divide. In Richmond upon Thames, life expectancy for men is 71.1 years in between 2015 and 2019, whereas in Blackpool it's 53.3. That's 18.6 year gap between North and South. It's huge. Um, Analysis, tell me why this deprivation is negatively correlated. So as deprivation increases, life expectancy decreases. So in it, you can talk about levels of employment, you can talk about physical health, mental health, diets, a bit, yeah, sort of addictions like like smoking, drugs, alcoholism. And then in criticism, you can say, well, however, that's not the defining factor. I've got grandparents who live in New York who are alive and kicking, and they're well over the age of 80. So you could talk about the fact that there's other factors. There could be links to education. So you could develop the point that people with more degrees tend to have better quality jobs, therefore have better earnings, and therefore have better quality of life as a result. Okay, so you can talk about another one there. And the conclusion there would be, overall, do you think life expectancy varies mostly between countries or within countries? Which one do you think matters more? You could do that.